Keinemusik has some amazing songs. They are super long but not super complex. So how do they do it to make the songs interesting and not so repetitive? In today's video, we're gonna analyze a few songs from Adam Port and me and also Rampa, so you can discover how to make longer songs without sounding repetitive and boring. But before we begin, let me know who is your favorite artist from Keinemusik. Adam Port, Rampa, or and me? Let me know over here in the comments below, and let's get started with this tutorial. Let's go. Keinemusik songs are all about maintaining a compelling groove. They're not supposed to be really aggressive, they're not supposed to be really complex, and they're supposed to be played in open-air events. And that's why the groove is so important to maintain the crowd interested in the song. Listen, for example, to the remix of Impossible by and me. Basically, we have a kick, some percussions in the background, and some supporting elements, and pretty much that's it. But then, when you go to the drop 2 of the song, the song gets more developed. Now it has a vocal, some arps, to maintain the listener interested in a really long song. And the same happens in the song called More Love, which is a remix by Rampa and me, as you can listen over here to drop 1. Again, a kick, some percussions in the background, and some supporting elements like the piano and that. Woo! But when you go to the drop 2 of the song, the same groove's still there, but now a little bit more enhanced with the vocals, some more percussions, and some more of that woo kind of sound. And that's how they maintain the interest in the song, basically by keeping the groove and also enhancing that groove along the way. Therefore, when producing this kind of genre, don't forget that the groove is the main focus of your production. You can start, for example, with a kick, and then you add some shaker loops, maybe some glasses or wood clicks. Then you can also add some 16th hats, and also a shaker acting as a hat. Add some melodies to this, and basically you have something to start your song with. But remember, don't make the song super complex or super busy, because that's not what the songs are all about. Essentially, it's all about maintaining a compelling groove. But how do you maintain a compelling groove for 6-7 minutes without getting repetitive? It's really hard to maintain the listener interested in the song when the song is not super complex, but also 6 to 7 minutes long. But even then, there are a few things that you can do to your songs to make them more interesting and not repetitive. Essentially, every 8-bar loop, something new has to happen. That's what Rampa, Adam Port, and me do in their songs to make it less repetitive. Every 8-bar loop, there's something new being added or something new being taken out of the song. Listen, for example, to the song called Champion, but listen only to the start of the 8-bar loops in the drop 1. The second 8-bar now, he added some percussions and the guitar, but listen to the third one now. He took the guitar, took the hats, but now added a vocal. And now in the fourth one, he came back with the guitar and the percussion, essentially finishing the drop 1. So, as I said, every 8-bar loop, something new has to happen. The second thing that you can do is make a percussive break. Essentially, instead of making a break without any percussions, you add some percussions in there to keep the energy going where otherwise could be a bit quiet and empty. Listen, for example, to the start of the breakdown of the song called Mulher. You can see that the percussions are still there, but when you go a little bit deeper into the breakdown, even then the percussions are still there, but when we go even further into the breakdown, and essentially this way they keep the energy high in the song without losing interest in it. Now, the third thing that you can do in your song, sometimes you want to take the percussions out in the breakdown, but then you can re-add them as soon as you can to add that groove back in the song. That's something that you can listen in the song called Champion. Can you see how instantly when the percussion came back, that groove came back to you? And that's something that they do quite a lot in their songs. The fourth thing that you can do in your songs is essentially add bridges, as they do a lot in their songs. Listen, for example, to the song called Let's Good, how in the end of the drop, they killed the kick and the bass, as you can listen here. But then when they're going back to the song, they essentially switch up the song, as you can listen over here. They got rid of the vocal and now started with the guitar, essentially creating movement in the song again. Therefore, when you have a song that is not super complex, make sure to add movement to the song. You can either take or add new elements every 8-bar loop, essentially to create growth and development in the song, and you can take advantage of the percussion breakdowns and also of the bridges to essentially intensify this movement that you're creating. However, even if the songs are not super complex, there are a few elements that are key to keep the attention of the listener going along the way, and that takes us to our next point in this video. Keinemusic's bass lines are all about one thing: enhancing the groove of the song. And sometimes they don't even have a proper bass line to do this. Listen, for example, to the song called Confusion. Where the bass would be, there's actually some percussion loops and the low end of the piano, but essentially that's it. And you can listen to the same thing in the song called Mulher. But that doesn't mean that they don't have bass lines in their songs at all. If you listen, for example, to the song called Champion, now the bass line is really present and it's also really playful. Instead of just playing one note, it's playing something really boom 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 boom, really playful and almost in a house music vibe. And you can see the same thing happening in the song called Let's Gut. Essentially, this playfulness of the notes of the bass line complement the groove of the song. Instead of having one static note that could be boring, having multiple notes in a progression can actually make it dance a little bit more and make the song even groovier as well. But that doesn't mean that they don't have those kind of straight bass lines, as you can listen over here in the remix of Your Voice by Adam Port. But now, instead of the notes being playful, the sound design of the bass line is really playful as well. And that is the one complementing the groove at this point. Therefore, when thinking about bass lines for this kind of genre, don't forget that the main goal is to add groove to the song. So adding a playful bass line or even some percussions in the low end can just make the bass line really nice as well. But if you want to make a bass line that's a little bit more prominent, don't forget to make the sound design prominent in the mix, so it again adds and complements the groove of the song. But all that doesn't matter if you don't have a proper hook in your song, which takes us to our next point in this video. The bass complements the groove of the song, but what actually makes you listen to the rest of the song is the hook of the song. Without the hook, the song could end up being a bit boring. Listen, for example, to the start of the song called Champion. It's a nice groove, but after a while, this can become a bit boring. So that's when they add a guitar to the song. And now this guitar complements the groove of the song while also taking your attention fully to it. But they also have another kind of hook in the same song, as you can listen over here.
Champion, champion, one for this.
At the same time that the hook complements the groove of the song, it also doesn't disturb the groove of the song because it's not so busy. And this is why vocals, guitars, and also some other kinds of synths are perfect for this kind of songs. Listen, for example, to the song called The Day I Met You and how the synth in that situation is what actually makes the groove of the song. Here the synths are doing the same thing as the bass line, and that plucky rhythmic pace of the synth is actually what makes the song rhythmic. But in the song called Rapture Number 3 with Black Coffee, the song is mainly about a piano jam, as you can listen over here. And the same happens in the song called Mulher. What I love about their music is not only they have the creative freedom to just have a piano jam in the song, but they also have the freedom to make something more mainstream like Champion or Let's Gut with guitars and vocals. So essentially, it's all about finding a hook that complements the groove, but also doesn't disturb the groove, and they do that with perfection. However, what about the ear candies of the song? How do they do it? Ear candies for Keinemusik are something a bit different than what you've been seeing in this channel. Instead of using some melodic elements to just stuff the song, Keinemusik Keinemusika's ear candies are all essentially to add rhythm to the song and also add rhythm to the hook of the song as well. Listen, for example, to the song called Mulher, how they use some vocal shots over there. The vocal comes in the background just to add a little bit more depth in the song, and that also happens in the song called Champion. A bunch of random shouts and haze that could be a little bit weird for melodic house, but here they fit really nice because they complement the playfulness of the bass line and essentially just makes the song a lot more interesting. But sometimes they also use some really harsh digital sounds like you can hear in the remix of More Love. That classic woo that is only adding a bit of interest in the song and just complementing with ear candy, and they also do that in the song called Impossible. A highly digital and detuned song that it's really harsh for this kind of organic song, but at the same time it adds a little bit of contrast to something that it's a bit too soft. But the main kind of ear candy that I see in this kind of genre is what they do in the song called Rapture Part 3. That kind of bum 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 just adds more to the rhythm of the song while also complementing the hook of the song, so essentially making the best of both worlds. But lastly, even how they use the classic one-note string. Listen, for example, in the song called What You Expected. Instead of being a one-note string that plays only it's and it's really rhythmic as well, again complementing the song. Therefore, in this kind of song, instead of just adding some random ear candy, make sure that the ear candy that you add for the songs complement the groove of the song, because that's what this is all about. However, you can't run away of ear candy, and if you want to see some more distinct ways of adding ear candies to your songs, you can see this video over here, or you can see this video over here on how you can make better drum loops for your songs. I hope you liked this video, and I hope to see you in the next Abstrakt video next week. Ciao!